Some people can achieve great things at such a young age, whether it be achievements in school, media fame, among many other things. But what if those very things were taken from them soon after? That's what we'll be discussing today in the case of Rebecca Schaeffer. Rebecca Schaeffer was born on November 6, 1967 in Eugene, Oregon. She was the only child of her parents, Donna, who was a writer and instructor who taught at Willamette University, and her father, Dr. Schaeffer, who was a child psychologist. Both of her parents were of the Jewish faith. Schaeffer was raised in Portland, where she would then attend Lincoln High School. Her initial aspirations for life was to become a rabbi, but then took an interest in modeling in her junior year of high school. She would go on to appear in a multitude of department store catalogs, television commercials, and small parts as an extra in television. In 1984, at 16 years old, Schaeffer worked for a summer in New York City with elite model management and stayed in the city to pursue modeling. In 1984, she would get her first big break as she would land the role of Annie Barnes on ABC's TV show, One Life to Live, for a period that lasted 6 months. At this time, she decided to still pursue modeling, but she was considered too short for fashion modeling and struggled to find work. In 1985, she moved to Japan in hopes of finding more modeling jobs, but still had trouble due to her height and weight. This was the point where she would decide to move back to New York City and focus on a career in acting. In 1986, Schaeffer would achieve a small role in Woody Allen's comedy Radio Days, but her character would be edited out except for a brief scene. She would then appear on the cover of 17 magazine, which caught the attention of TV producers who were casting for the comedy My Sister Sam. Schaeffer would play the role of Patricia Patty Russell. The show was initially a hit, ranking in the top 25, but was canceled halfway through due to falling ratings. After My Sister Sam, Schaeffer would then obtain supporting roles in Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills, Voyage of Terror, The Achille Lauro Affair, Innocence, and TV film Out of Time. All of these were major achievements, but this would all come to an end in the coming years. In the year of 1986, a man by the name of Robert John Bardo would become a big fan of the TV show Schaeffer co-starred in, My Sister Sam. This sounds innocent enough, but his obsession soon grew to a much more sinister level. It was told that Bardo would become obsessed with the character Patty that Schaeffer played, in which he would build a shrine for her in his room. Like many of her fans, Bardo would begin to write letters to Schaeffer. Rebecca responded, writing that his letter was the most beautiful that she had ever received. On her letter, she drew a peace sign, a heart, and signed it, with love from Rebecca. The day Bardo received this letter, he wrote in his diary, "When I think of her, I would like to become famous to impress her." In June 1987, Bardo would then go to Burbank Studio Gates where My Sister Sam was produced, carrying a teddy bear and a bouquet of roses for Rebecca. Of course, the guards didn't let him in. Bardo returned a month later with a knife, but didn't get entrance then either. In the diary he wrote, "I don't lose, period." Sometime later, he saw Schaeffer in the new film Class Struggle in Beverly Hills. In the movie, Rebecca had a bed scene with a male actor which gravely upset Bardo. He couldn't envision his innocent young girl being an adult woman. To him, she had now just become some other woman from Hollywood. Bardo decided Rebecca had to be punished for her immorality. He drew a diagram of her body and marked spots where he planned to shoot her. He asked his older brother Edgar to buy him a gun. He then hopped on a Hollywood-bound bus in Tucson, hell-bent on tracking her down. On July 17, 1989, Bardo called Schaeffer's agent's office and tried to find out where she lived. Refused this information, he relentlessly roamed the streets, flashing her photo and asking passerbys if they knew her address. He then resorted to paying a private detective $250 to find her, which he received the information he was looking for. The next day, Bardo, dressed in a yellow polo shirt, rang Rebecca's doorbell. The intercom wasn't working, so she came downstairs to the apartment building's front door, where she saw Bardo, and basically ignored his attention. After about an hour, Bardo returned to the house and rang the bell again. Still in her housecoat, Schaeffer came down to the front door, turned the handle, and opened it. Schaeffer would then tell Bardo that he was wasting her time and to go away, to which he did not take lightly. He proceeded to pull out a handgun and discharge 2 rounds into Schaeffer's body. A neighbor named Richard Goldman heard the 2 gunshots and 2 horrifying screams and rushed to her front door and found Rebecca's body, clad in a black robe, twitching in the building's foyer. He checked her pulse, but found none. Witnesses saw a young man in a yellow shirt jogging up the Hollywood block. He turned into an alley and disappeared. Rebecca was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where she lingered for 30 minutes before she died. She was only 21 years of age. The next day in Tucson, several motorists called 911 to report a man running around in traffic on Interstate 10. It looked like he was trying to get hit. He confessed immediately to Schaeffer's murder. Alright guys, that's all for this one. Thank you again for watching all the way through, and if you liked it, please like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.